All right, before starting the sharing, just to check if everyone can hear and see the slides digitally. Great. Thank you guests who are here today with me, together with all the viewers who are joining us via the webinar. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Edmund, Sales Manager of Seoul Luminaire. In today's sharing, we will be focusing the key elements of lighting and how it communicates with the interior space, together with some important tips for you to take away and the new upcoming trend that we observe in the design community. Allow me to run through the agenda on the slides first. We will be covering presentation overview, our company history, the role of lighting, determine good quality lightings, tips on creating mood and ambience, lighting trends, fortifying Seoul Luminaire's efficacy. Lastly, we will end off with some questions and answers. Overview. Being part of the element of design, light is the spirit of the interior. Light can play an emotive role in our day-to-day setting when placed accordingly within the space. Following through our company's timeline of innovative approaches as we redefine the boundaries of your lighting experience, from the evolution of lighting technology to the application of lighting and the upcoming lighting trend of 2021 till 2022. Not to worry, as we will be covering more in-depth detail as we move on into the sharing. Next, our company history. Founded in 2008, Seoul Luminaire is an innovative lighting establishment in Singapore that uses the element of light in the field of space planning and design. We introduced our in-house lighting fixtures, Aeon, 2 years after our incorporation. We design, manufacture, and integrate creating lighting solutions to residential and commercial projects across Southeast Asia. Our Aeon luminaires incorporate leading components from reputable partners, ensuring models that achieve high performance, consistency, and durability. From the start, we adopted a sustainable approach using chip-on-board LEDs, which we call COB in short. We introduced our mini series that emphasize on scale reduction and even lower unified glare rating, which we call UGR. Along with beam to warm technology and the flexibility of adjustable beam angles. In 2019, the Lab 2.1, a project by Luminaire, was launched as the first experimental platform for radical lightings and lifestyle products from Asia and around the world. Advocating a fresh perspective on this category, the Lab 2.1 concept is ever evolving to challenge creativity and boundaries. For this, I will invite you guys to view more information on our social media, website, and even scheduling an appointment to our gallery at 395 Guillemard Road. Next, please. The role of lighting. Think of your favorite restaurant, hotel, or even place. Does the atmosphere make you feel relaxed and comfortable? It is because lighting sets the tone of every space. In lighting terms, color tonality translates to correlated color temperature, which we call CCT. Achieving the right CCT and brightness can help design and shape the mood of a space, be it for ambience creation or for your daily tasks. This is one of the important tips that I will be sharing. Being consistent with CCT is the breaking point. Inconsistent or mixture of CCT may unintentionally create different color temperature and unnecessary distortion that will disrupt one's lifestyle. Think of living or working with a space that is co-sharing warm white 3000 Kelvin and cool white 5000 Kelvin. For example, we design and prioritize hospitality and commercial projects through with a warm white temperature of 3000 Kelvin for productivity without the harsh glare. With Aeon's integrated dim to warm technology, it allows users the flexibility of dimming their lights to relaxing sunset feel of 2000 Kelvin. Next, we will be presenting some completed project reference for you. In this particular project, we showcase different types of methods, maximizing a high void area by using downlights and indirect lightings such as cove lights, elevating the entire living space while filling the space with a warm, cozy ambience at a consistent CCT of 3000 Kelvin warm white. We have another project reference. Incorporating natural skylight, at the same time utilizing artificial lightings to elevate a space with an additional layer of dimension that transform the space with circadian rhythm, which I will explain more on that later. So far, I hope everyone is able to understand the role of lighting. All right, we'll move on to determine good quality lightings. In our industry of lightings, most common requirements are like how many wattage is your light or how bright is your light. Next is, are they long lasting or durable? But it's actually more than that. Design of lighting fixtures, beam angles, color rendering index, and even down to the material do play a huge factor for good quality lightings. Aeon's product take precise beam angle into consideration, minimizing stray light to better allow wall washing activities to be achieved with its well-rounded scallop lighting effect for your paintings or even your feature wall. As you can see in the photo, a minimum color rendering index of 90 ensure visual crispness and an accurate reflection of color, as you can see in the painting which we have in our gallery. Let me explain what is coloring rendering index. CRI for short measures the ability of a light source to accurately bring forth the color of your interior, furniture, and everything you basically spend for. It ranges from 0 to 100, where 100 is being the sun. You will notice when you take photo on a nice warm sunny day, the quality of your photo will surely be better as comparing to taking it in an indoor room. So with high value of CRI, it will be able to bring out your interior to its fullest potential, and that is with the use of good quality lightings. Material. With constant product development tailored for the local market, such as exploring different finishes and materials like concrete, electroplated, texturized, and even rubberized sheen luminaire fittings, our luminaires are design-centric and cater to a timeless aesthetic. The Aeon series today is constantly being improved on and re-examined. Understanding the market requirement and the user's behavior allowed us to innovate without compromising on performance. Here are some of the examples for your reference of good CRI. as you can see in the photos above. To avoid giving off an unwanted vintage dull feel, Aeon emphasized in CRI with a minimum of 90 out of 100. To accurately render out visually to human eye, not just an artwork vibrancy, but also the space finishing. With the next few slides, we will be sharing with you more of our recent and current product. In the form of design, Aeon seeks to challenge on conventional luminaires. Being at the forefront of lighting trend, we believe that the future of lighting designs will take on a discrete and minimalist outlook. Equipped with reputable components to ensure superior performance. In addition, Aeons advocate for soft ceiling concept where light beams are gently directed and flow outwards from our fixture, enhancing visual comfort with the majority of Aeon products featuring a unified glare rating of under 19. ESA V3. I will take our ESA V3 as an example, jumping back on our re-examine of our current product. I would like to take your attention to our ESA V3, where we recently upgraded the fittings by reducing the diameter to 75 mm and below. That emphasized on decluttering on your ceiling outlook while achieving a higher CRI value of under 95. Moving on to our gypsum series. Exclusive with Aeon, selected models equipped with the gypsum series results in a soft concave ceiling outlook that will also create a unified ceiling outlook with multiple lighting fixtures. Gypsum series are also customizable to users' preferred paint finishing that can be best matched within the house color theme. Next, I'll be touching on to our next series, which is also our first collaboration series with our local interior firm, Architology. In this particular series, we like to explore different materials within our product, as you can see in the two photos above. All right. Next, I'll move on to our Volley series, as you can see, a unique spherical exterior within Aeon's arsenal. Volley is equipped with dim to warm technology that creates a new extension to the existing dimmable function. All right, with all this sharing, we will be moving on to tips on creating mood and ambience. Here is another tip for everyone, be it interior designers or architect or even new homeowners. Lighting layering is one of the key methods individual can adopt to softly light up a space through mood lightings. This can be done through a mix of dimmable light source such as downlights, cove lights, and pendant lights. Dimmability is a key element in building and creating depth to stimulate positivity and good vibes. Referencing from our completed project once again, a mixture of lighting category and specific placement provide users the ability to create focal area when lights are switched on. Let me explain further. The photo with the two gentlemen show how light layering can create a soft atmosphere for a long conversation of their daily activities. This is with the use of indirect lightings and the focal pendant light by Arturo Alvarez. The photo below showcases mainly on all the bespoke furnitures selected by the designers. With the focal area, it will provide a sense of shadow play to emphasize and de-emphasize various elements to complete the overall lighting experience. Next, I'll be touching on with the use of indirect lightings. Indirect supporting lighting category, such as cove lights, give off an additional flare to spaces that adds on visual depth and the ability to selectively switch on during different occasions for bespoke purposes. Next, we'll be moving on to the lighting trends. Right, in the year 2018 to 2019, we observed the trend for lights to be sleek, modern, and contrasted. Interiors with monochrome and neutral palettes were popular among designers and homeowners. As we approach 2020, 2021, where we are in today, and towards 2022, we see a change in the consumer and market preference. Homeowners and commercial spaces are looking for lights that are discreet and small in size, that will go unnoticed, yet boosts the same efficiency and performance. A clean and soft ceiling outlook is preferred with a focus on furnitures and home and decor instead. As you can see in the photos of our project, light placement. We introduce light placement in form of triplets or even twin with a narrow space in between. This form of lighting will appear soft towards the interior space, narrowing our attention by looking at the various form of details within the interior. Next, we'll be talking about scale reduction. Introducing our model Line Mini with its sleek and slim profile, Line Mini is a go-to model within Aeon's collection for its discrete ceiling outlook. Or you can also choose to contrast it off the white ceiling or cleverly detail into ceiling trench are some of the concepts that Line Mini works very well with. Next, we'll be talking about next line trend, which is called decluttering ceiling profile. Worried of having a cluttered ceiling due to multiple luminaire placement will be non-existent. As within Aeon, boost a reduction in the body size to elevate your ceiling design. Through this, if anyone is excited to explore newer lighting trend or different approach for your lighting experience, our team of lighting specialists is readily available to discuss the details with you. Feel free to contact us via our hotline or our social media platform. Next, I'll be touching on to fortifying Sol Luminaire's efficacy. Being in a digital age with the constant need of immediacy, it is important that Sol Luminaire evolve to address the pain point of the market. Our company is the only lighting company in Singapore to be an exclusive partner with leading lighting software, Dialux. With a 99% accuracy in lighting calculation, interior designers and architects can skip the guesswork, knowing that what they see is what they get. This is to mainly avoid any additional work for our industry partners. Working with Dialux has not only increased our efficiency, but has also boosted the confidence of our clients. This is the result of how Dialux ensure one of our prestigious projects at OCBC Premium Private Client. All right. Next, we'll be going through a short clip of how our interior designers and architects can maximize their proposal with the use of Dialux. All right, so the video was a very quick video clip, but let me give you a quick introduction. All right, so basically what does Dialux actually fortify quickly on is mainly about how much lights do you really need within a space. Take for example, at a living room environment, you may not know whether you need 6 or more lighting fixtures through that space. So with the use of Dialux, it gives the clients or designers a better reference of how much lights are essentially needed through the space. And also, with Sol Luminaire certified lighting designers, ensure your requirements are well met, addressed before and during the project. All right. All right. Next, I will be introducing one of our partners which we work closely by the name of Domus. We work closely with Domus, a smart home provider that specializes in biophilic design solutions, leveraging primarily on Lutron. This partnership ensures your lighting systems will be tailored to suit your personal and lifestyle needs. Integrating the circadian rhythm into your smart home function to ensure your environment is fully optimized in terms of lighting, temperature, and even security. Here is a short clip of our gallery discussion area equipped with Lutron home control system by Domus. So as you can see, with the use of smart home control, we are able to create scenes in various spaces. Through that, it will definitely tailor towards your personal and your lifestyle needs. Next, we have Domus to introduce circadian rhythm through this video. All right. Thank you, Domus, for the video. All right. Lastly, we'll reach towards the end of the presentation to share with you guys. To end it off, we pride ourselves with our in-house technician team, which allow us to expedite our servicing requests within a timeline of 24 hours to 48 hours. This is to provide a peace of mind to all of our clients. Now, I will answer to some of your questions if you may have for our Q&A session. Right, someone do have a question at the back.
Hi, can I know more about the lighting trend that you have mentioned earlier on 2022 for Luminaire?
Right, regards to the question itself. So in the year 2021, in fact, like where we are today, we observe that spaces are getting smaller by the day. So that's where we are reworking on the topic of me sharing earlier on, we re-examine our product to make sure that it's smaller and it's more to emphasize on decluttering or scale reduction itself. So with that, it allows the space to be more airy and more open in that sense. Yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I see another question coming up.
Hi, Edmund.
Yeah.
So previously you talked about Dilux, right?
Right.
So how can we benefit from it?
Sure. I would say with Dialux, it gives the user a better understanding of what's your personal preference. Through that, in a sense whereby if you are an individual that likes a very bright environment, or you could go for a very soft environment. With Dialux, it gives you a feel of confidence in such as knowing how much lumens or how much lux level will be catered within the space. So rather than we do the project ongoingly and kind of work the answer on the ground, we can use the software Dialux to kind of give us a better understanding towards your personal preference. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you.
All right. If not, I'll move on and I'll pass the mic to Chen Ho, which will be the director of Domus. Right, Chen Ho.
Many thanks, Edmund. I think for the presentation, I'm going to stand more to the right so I can refer up to the slides and then coordinate with everybody. Just give us a minute while we set up the PowerPoint presentation. Basically, we're a system solution provider for smart environment, and invariably lighting is a major component of it. And the contents for today's presentation, what we have, just a minute, let me just reconnect. Since 1999, we've started our business, and we're one of the pioneers more than 20 years ago, providing solutions ranging from lighting control to audio, video, to smart home, to integration of all the AV systems, security systems, so on and so forth. And these are the contents that we have. Basically, what we want to do is that we believe in what's WeFM. The whole angle of the presentation is going to come from WeFM, and I explain it in a short while. Some of you might already know the angle of WeFM already. And we hope to have some insightful takeaways for you. And we believe in this connection, one creative force of love, how to go around for everybody in the project, how we benefit so we can better present the whole end result to all the stakeholders. These are some of our solutions that we have, broken down to 4 categories: lighting control and automation, audio-video distribution system, home theater by design. We sell you what you need, not what we have. And we integrate it at the top level with an integrated control system that will tie in all these systems together and other systems. With all these 4 systems, we can actually apply to business application, commercial application at the same time. For a link, this gives you an idea of our website. But going into the VFM, it's defined as what's in it for me, the angle in terms of the benefits you're going to get. And it's one radio station that most of the clients will invariably be very tuned into. When you talk about everything else, technical, design-based, they will not understand what is the end result for them. So we start from this angle where we talk about how we align very early and from the start so we can gain the trust, and then we can align and then be very effective and very efficient in what we're going to do. So there is a focus, purpose, and then we have very aligned kind of unified outcomes. Okay, you don't have to be great to start as something, but we believe that you need to start to be great. And this from Zig Ziglar, one of the pioneers in marketing, one of the great speakers. So what we want to achieve is that we want to have in-depth analysis from the client. We want to align everybody else so that we lighten the workload for the architects, engineer. We do all the heavy lifting for them. Because a lot of designs, they might not have taken into consideration the element of control, the element of automation, the element of audiovisual. And we preempt any design kind of challenges upfront. And this is also shown like some design afterthought. For example, they've designed a perfect place looking very nice, but then they put in some functions which might clash with the design element. So we want to have the form and function to coexist. The 2 elements. First of all, I think Edmund earlier already mentioned what circadian rhythm is. A natural cycle of lighting from early in the morning till in the evening. So what we want to do is have this ready cycle duplicated with artificial light that we have, so you feel very comfortable as though you're out in the open. But very often we are in enclosed space, we do not know what's happening out there. So with this circadian rhythm, it gives you a good sense of being, some cycle and some consistency. And the other element that we want to talk about is biophilic design. The word biophilic is very big. To us, we simplify it by saying what's indoor and outdoor and the interaction of it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some pictures. With these 2 concepts together, we hope to achieve the nature's way to let you be at your best at what you're going to do. So the first picture that we see here now, you can see we bring the outdoor indoor. This house is quite unique because what they've done is that they put an outdoor dining table indoor. This is a panoramic view picture of the whole place from left to right. So as you look at some of these pictures, have a mental representation and feel free to ask us any question later on. This is very interesting. We have a night scene here without the outdoors. As we go on, as this picture you can see now we have the outdoor incorporated, so we can control both indoor and outdoor at the same time, so that you have this synergistic integration of the indoor-outdoor. This will give you a good idea of what is it when we do it like that. The picture on the left, this is primarily indoor, and the picture on the right, we synergize with outdoor. So we look at things where the whole is greater than some of its parts, right? So you integrate the whole environment all together. Some simple general lighting. Lighting is broken out to many, many different levels. General lighting, task lighting, decorative lighting, architectural lighting. This is going to be a real killer video app. So pay a little bit more attention. What we want to achieve is this. We're going to light up your path. We're going to give you a great way for you to greet your guests. We're going to give you a welcome home kind of scene. And this is what's going to happen. The challenge here really is how to control this big environment with multiple groups of lights and give you multiple activity with necessary ambience for it. So this architectural design, the space is designed in a sense where it's a U shape, there's an entrance, there's a kitchen on the left, the dry kitchen on the left, the dining, and then the living on the center, and they have an outdoorsy area indoor on the right-hand side. So there are multiple kind of activity for this space. So what we can do is that with this activity, different activity will require different ambience. So we align everything from the beginning, understanding what is needed from the front, and then we try and do all this up front so we can have a language that's it's like a protocol language for everybody to align to save everybody a lot of time. The architect, the owner, the engineers, the specialists, the consultants, the contractors all will understand how we align everybody and make the whole process a lot quicker and faster. We'll show you some pictures outdoor so you can just appreciate. We'll just run through this quite quickly, but basically you can see some pictures as outdoor. So it's integration of indoor and outdoor in the late afternoon. So the pool deck, the walkway, it's all lit up so that the transition from indoor and outdoor is more seamless. You wouldn't go from a very bright place to a very dark place or the other way around. This is very interesting. This is a walkway, and you can see from inside, what we're going to do is that we really lighted up the space with some downlights, and you see small little pockets where you have these windows of light that come through and it's cast onto the floor. And when we turn on these lights here, you see the next picture. It's peppered out throughout the whole facade of the entrance. So as you're coming in from the outdoor into the indoor, you have an idea of what is it going to be like inside already. There's an anticipation, there's a priming effect of what is to expect. This is really very interesting. What have they invested here is solid teak wood, which tends to be a bit darker for the area. So we understand what the architect wants to do. Let's put in a natural skylight, so the light will come through here, the natural sunlight, even without any light, electrical light that's being controlled by us. And this is a late afternoon, so we want to seamlessly transition from late afternoon till early evening into the night. So we can turn on some of these lights here. We can even dim them to a level that you're comfortable with and slowly dim them up when it goes down later into the night. So this place won't be very dark. And now, later in the evening, you can see basically the harmony between indoor and outdoor. The pool side, the indoor area, the architectural design intent of the materials used, the wood here, and the cotton steel on the side. That's the whole idea that's behind it. And this is really the epitome of what we call biophilic. So the garden or the outdoor is really readily accessible to all the homeowners when they come in. This window here, you can open it when it's cool and dry and windy, and you might want to close it when it's raining. So for the same reason, while we're indoor, we can really enjoy the garden here. So the space is really this interaction. So if I have a very nice garden outdoor, and I like to be able to enjoy, I might put a nice picnic table out there, which I can enjoy the outdoor as though I'm indoor. This is another project. This is really very interesting because they want to light up this study area. An architect has really put in the effort to really make this structure very small to support this study room as though it's floating up. One thing is very good that they have done is they have not overpopulated or overlighted this site with some LED strips, which a lot of interior designers or architects would have done. It would have been overpowered. And this whole idea you can see as we go on with more pictures. This is the back of the study room, and the design intent here is really quite clear. The edge wood here, so the light here is done through a side throw. And then here you see a swimming pool. We'll talk about this a little bit later. The idea here is actually the study room when we view it from the back. When you want to control an environment like that with more than 50, 60 groups of lights, it's kind of difficult to be able to do this without a control system. From a famous architect, I've learned that when the pool is not lit up at all, it acts as a black mirror. So clearly you can see the reflection. There are times that you might want to turn on the lights within the pool so that you have this demarcation that the pool is out there, and then the black mirror concept is completely removed. This is another project. So we like to show pictures of how the project looks like in the day and what we're going to do when it comes to the night, because really lighting is a fourth dimension architecture. Biophilic can be explained maybe across Singapore and, for example, a temperate country. So here they allow some late afternoon sun to come in to brighten up the place. So if I'm in Singapore, I would build a house, I will orientate the house in a way where we veer away from the afternoon sun to not to reduce the heat. But on the other hand, if I'm in a temperate climate where heating is very expensive, I might want to orientate the whole project to face afternoon sun so I can get the warmth of it and save energy, and then I won't have to spend so much on the heating, especially during the autumn and winter. You get less sun, so you want to harness all the sun that you have. We just want to show you that lighting is a bit indirect. So the carpentry work here, how it lights up the carpentry work here, it flows out onto the floor. Because this house is dramatic slopes, so the lights are not all at one level. Some at knee height, some within the pool, some up at the ceiling, typically up at the ceiling, then the carpentry work there, so on and so forth. The same example that I mentioned again. So the reflection of the black pool. We also did the lighting design for Audi showroom, so give you some idea how we address light. So the two pictures are very different already. Based on, this is more like the 3000 NC, and earlier on probably is a lot brighter because the circadian rhythm was probably at 4, 5 o'clock. Now it's probably about 6, 7 o'clock. Yep. What's interesting is this, you have both view indoor and outdoor. We just want to show you certain things that's quite unique. The ceiling now is grain. You can see the strips of lights up at the ceiling. And then on the right here, the ceiling is no longer grain. All right? And how the wall is being washed in grain are all two different concepts. But just to share with you how lighting, how indirect it is, and really it's a fourth dimension of architecture we need to adopt and address. Because Audi is a German company, they like it quite clinical, and so that's the theme. After all the pictures, just to give you some idea of what we do as a part 2. We are basically electronic system architect, designers, where we design the system, and then we can also integrate and install and put it up for you. At the end of the day, we just want to put form and function together, because what we deal with is actually function. Architect, interior designers, all things beautiful, more in form. We want to be able to seamlessly infuse our function into the form, not as an afterthought. Some quotes from world-renowned architects, designers. But we have one of our own philosophy. We believe in this. We believe in by lighting right so you can live right. It sounds very simple, but it's very hard to do. If there's something I'd like to share with you guys, primarily for you guys to take away, it will always be this design principle of ours. We have established a common language, a protocol for architects, homeowners, everybody, all the stakeholders to understand what we're trying to do, and then save everybody time and effort. If you look over here, basically we've got a AAA, CCC, TTT. The lighting solutions start from the architecture, the space that's designed for, and then activity and the ambience. What we want to achieve is basically the comfort, cycle and consistency through all these clever controls. And how we do it with tuning intensity, which is dimming. We tune the color, tunable white, and then we tune stimuli. We want to think about blocking certain things or receiving certain things. There's a biophilic concept there. So the idea is to save time, save money, reduce unnecessary work, and increase the one creative love for all. All right. If you click onto the website, it's an interactive website where okay, no worries. But basically, with this, apologies for that. Let me go back 1 or 2 more slides. Before that, there's 1 or 2 more slides. Anyways, regarding this Dormer's design principle, it's an interactive website. Please feel free to go and click and understand there's lots of resource, thought processes, ideas behind where you will start to understand that how we can align and speak the same language following the protocol. We have a few more videos to show. These are the takeaways that we want. It's quite self-explanatory, so I won't spend too much time on that. But there are 1 or 2 more videos we'd like to show. Yes. This is the one creative force of love that I believe is going to be useful for everybody to be able to benefit from any projects. Moving forward, that's our level of sincerity. Any questions so far? I think we have 1 or 2 questions on board, but let's play the video next. Sorry about the connectivity of the clicker. Okay, what we're going to show to you is basically a process which cannot be done without any automation. So we're going to gradually turn on multiple groups of lights and gradually turn it off. This is how we do it. This whole process takes about, we have programmed it to take about 20 to 25 seconds, right? So conversely, when we off it, we do it this way. So the idea, there's no harsh transition. It's almost like having multiple manual dimmers and having 2 or 3 persons to stand there to do this all the time on a consistent level, which is virtually impossible unless you have a system to be able to address this on a consistent level. This is a small apartment to show to you how we see the 4th dimension of architecture as lighting to be. With a small apartment like that, not more than 1,200 square feet, and having a controls that provides the seamless entry, exit for different architectural space, different activity, and different ambience as needed. That's what we have. Basically encapsulate everything in terms of fourth dimension for architecture, lighting, and how we control it. If you don't have control for lighting, it's like not having volume control for your music. It's always at 100% maximum loudness or brightness. By having lighting control systems, you can have that kind of controls where it's needed, where you can vary it very seamlessly and then well thought out. The next video will give you an idea of activity of, coming home and leaving the place. Best part of it is coming home, you have one touch of the button, leaving the house, another touch of another button. And the transition is going to take you maybe 15, 20 seconds or however long you tell us how you want it to be. So the transition is smooth and then effortless, and it makes a lot of sense. And the best part, you can keep duplicating it day in, day out. This is another video of a project that we did, how they start work from 9 to 5. And once they come in, they hit a certain button. And then during the activity of the day, they have some kind of lighting up the pantry. And should they want to leave the office, they call it's a wrap. The controls there, go through with the owners, the users, how they like to customize, and we have our own proposals, and you do a handshaking and come out. This is the end product of what we have done. So the one thing that if you want to take away from my presentation, this is what is it. This is what it is, and it's actually on our website. Any questions from the floor?
Thank you, Jim. I need to know if how can the automation help out in the circadian rhythm? That means how can automation help circadian rhythm in our bodies?
A circadian rhythm, to define it very clearly, is just a cycle, a rhythm from 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening, the natural color of the sun. So if you imagine yourself working in an environment where there are no windows, you would not know what time it is, you cannot relate to the actual external environment. So what we're going to do is that we're going to duplicate the internal environment to be like external. So you would know, so you will not fall out of sync. Like all this warm light, at about 6 o'clock in the morning, the Kelvins, it's about 2000 or even 1500 Kelvins, very red. Then it turns to orange, then it turns to white during lunchtime, and then it goes back down to yellow, amber, and then orange again. So when we disrupt this cycle, right, you find that you cannot get this good sleep, rest, and then your cycle is all disrupted. So what we're going to do is that with systems, tunable white, dimming, clever design, with solar luminaires, 3000 NC, 3000 Kelvins kind of light temperature, we know how we're going to do and tweak in a certain way. And if there are windows, then we will use window treatment, be it blinds, curtains, to make it equal what's indoor and outdoor, so it's reflective of what it is. Because natural light is the best light. That's the most challenging part of any light fixture or any lighting designer or any control guys to try and duplicate that natural feeling. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Any question, anybody? Automation system, I think a lot of people don't understand what is automation. I just like to have a clear definition of what's automation and what's a smart system. Automation system is day in, day out, but we can put in a lot of if-then condition. Like for example, the lights that we have, if you were to go to the bathroom from anytime from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, we can program the light, even though you hit the same button, it'll be half the brightness or 1/4 the brightness. So you don't have that losing sleep kind of episode when you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and try and come back to try and catch your sleep again. So these are some of the if-then condition that we can put inside, some intelligence where we can make the system a bit more intuitive and very friendly to all the users. And our challenge is always to make things as simple as possible, as usable as possible. So there are certain kind of concepts that we have, and once we get a concept, we try to duplicate throughout. We don't try and have multiple or varying concepts as we try and drive through all our design solutions. Any more questions?
Shana, don't mind me asking, so regarding the commercial spaces that you shared, maybe can you give us some of the suggestions how you actually approach commercial spaces?
Commercial spaces is a bit different. So we focus a little bit more on lighting, right? We like to have illumination without glare. That's number one. But for some commercial spaces, be it showrooms, be it kind of areas where we need to highlight, we might need to live with a little bit more glare. But we try and control the glare at a certain time where we can minimize it. Because the glare will give you the spots that's needed. So depending on the application, for a showroom, if you have a piece of furniture that you need to showcase, you might need to spot on, and we try and reduce the spot on in the area, whereas other areas you have some graduation and contrast. So for like lighting design is really very simple, like what the lighting designer has presented. We talk about brightness, number one. We talk about contrast. So the contrast could be highly contrasted area for the more glary area sometimes to spot on certain things. The other area should be more contrasted downwards. Then talk about color. They talk about distribution. And most importantly to me is talking about control. So instead of spending a lot of money on certain kind of fixtures and so on and so on, you might want to take a little bit of budget to cater for a little bit for the automation so you can vary the environment to have that kind of different activity and the ambiance for it. So commercial application and residential applications is all very different because you cannot live with glare for prolonged periods. You can go to any showroom and you want to see that car, you want to see that piece of furniture, you want it to be highlighted, you want to see that. You can live with that for about 10, 20 minutes, but living in your home with that, I think is almost intolerable. So that's how we differentiate in terms of the lighting aspect for a start. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you, Chano.
Don't be shy if you have any question, because automation is quite an abstract and quite daunting thing. A lot of the guys just they have a one-size-fit-all kind of application, but that might not be what you want. So we try to understand what's required, and then we design the system, and we program and test commission the system to what's needed for you. No question? Thank you so much. Guys, have a great weekend. The weekend is here, right?
All right. I think so. Before we end off the sharing, I'd like to thank all the viewers who are with us on the webinar and all of you guys here together with us in this current sharing itself. Thank you for spending your time with us. If you guys are more interested, we will be staying back a little bit later. So just let us know if, let's say, you have questions that you'd like to ask personally, and we'll address them accordingly. Right, guys? Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.